It's been 3 years. 3 years with Sarah. I've always told myself I'm a patient guy, but lately, something about our relationship feels off. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know something's been changing. Maybe it's the wedding plans piling up on my shoulders or the way she's been acting more distant. But I'm starting to wonder if I've been ignoring things for too long. We're sitting at the dinner table, the soft glow of the kitchen light casting shadows across the plates between us. I'm picking at my food, some chicken and rice she barely touched, and Sarah's chatting away like everything's fine, like the wedding is just another box to check off on a to-do list. So, I've been thinking, she says, casually tapping her fork against the side of her plate. For my bachelorette party, I want to do something different, not the usual Vegas thing. I raise an eyebrow, expecting her to suggest a weekend getaway to some cozy cabin or maybe a spa weekend with the girls. But when she says, I was thinking Japan, I blink. Japan. I repeat, unsure if I heard her right. Like, a 2-week trip? Yeah, why not? She leans back in her chair, eyes sparkling. It'll be fun. Just me, the girls, and Mike. My stomach drops at the mention of Mike. I try not to let my reaction show, but the knot in my gut tightens. Mike, her ex. I've never liked him. They broke up years ago, but somehow he's always hung around. At first, it didn't bother me. They're friends, right? But every time he's around, it feels like there's some weird, unspoken connection between them. It doesn't sit right. You're bringing Mike? I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Yeah, he's part of the group. I'm not excluding him. She shrugs, not a care in the world. I try to swallow the lump in my throat. You know how I feel about him, Sarah. Why does he need to be on a trip that's supposed to be about you and your friends? She rolls her eyes, clearly irritated. Oh, come on, Nick. It's not like that. You're just being insecure. My heart races, but I bite my lip to keep my temper in check. I'm not being insecure. I just don't think it's right to have your ex tagging along on a trip like this. She scoffs, the edge to her voice sharp. You're controlling. I don't get why you're making such a big deal out of this. The words hit me like a punch. I want to yell at her, tell her that it's not just about Mike. It's about everything else, too. The way she's been distant, the way she expects me to handle all the wedding stuff while she sits back. But instead, I just nod, my hands gripping the sides of my chair. Fine, I say, barely able to keep the bitterness out of my voice. You do what you want. I'm just saying, I don't like it. She looks pleased, like she's won some victory. Great. I knew you'd understand. I watch her, that knot in my stomach tightening even more. Part of me wants to scream, to demand she see how messed up this is. But I stay quiet, because deep down, I'm already starting to doubt everything about us. I watch Sarah as she sits there, completely unfazed. She's poking at her food now, almost like she's forgotten that we're in the middle of a conversation that's unraveling everything. Her eyes flicker up to me, then back to her plate. She's calm, like she hasn't just dropped a bomb in my lap. I can't shake the feeling that I'm the only one who actually cares about what's happening here. Look, Nick, she starts. Her voice the same sugary sweetness it always is when she's trying to placate me. Mike and I are just friends. You need to stop acting like there's something more to it. You're being paranoid. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that. Paranoid. It's her favorite word when she doesn't want to face the real issue. My hand clenches into a fist, and I'm not sure whether I want to shake her or grab her and scream. You're saying it's no big deal. I say, my voice tight. But I'm telling you it is. It is a big deal. Mike's your ex. He's been around our whole relationship. Why does he have to be part of your bachelorette party? Why is he tagging along on this trip, Sarah? Explain that to me. She sighs dramatically, rolling her eyes. It's like she thinks this is just some annoying thing she has to get through. Nick, you're making this so much harder than it needs to be. You can't control everything. I'm going to do this trip, with or without your approval. Mike's my friend. You're just insecure. There it is again. The word that's been haunting me for months. Cuts deeper than she realizes. But I can't let her see it. Not now. Not when I'm already feeling like everything I've worked for in this relationship is slipping through my fingers. I try to hold on, to stay calm. I'm not insecure. I'm trying to respect you, but you're making it impossible to do that. My voice cracks a little, but I force it to steady. I've got boundaries, Sarah, and right now you're walking all over them. She huffs, like she's done with this conversation. You're being controlling, Nick. It's just a trip. I've been planning it with my friends for months. I'm not going to apologize for wanting a good time before the wedding. I can't even believe what I'm hearing. It's all about her fun, isn't it? All the time it's her. She doesn't get it, we're getting married. I should be part of this too. I'm supposed to have a say. But right now I don't. You're seriously telling me you don't see how this looks? I say, frustration rising like bile in my throat. You're going on a 2-week trip with Mike, and you don't think that's an issue? I don't care how many times you call me insecure. I'm not dumb. This is not okay, Sarah. She slams her fork down, the clatter harsh against the table. God, Nick, stop overthinking everything. It's just a trip. If you'd let me have this, maybe we wouldn't be fighting all the time. There it is. The real issue is not about Mike. It's not even about the trip. It's about me not letting her do whatever she wants without questioning it. I get that now. And I don't know if I want to be in a relationship where that's what it comes down to. But I can't bring myself to say it. Not yet. Not when everything's so close to falling apart. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. I can't keep doing this, but I also can't stop her. Not without losing everything. So, I do the one thing I never thought I would. I agree. Fine. I say, my voice low. Go. Go on your damn trip with Mike. I won't stop you. But don't pretend like everything's fine when you get back, Sarah. Because it won't be. Her face lights up, relief washing over her. Thank you, she says, like she's just won some battle. I knew you'd understand. She stands and kisses me on the cheek, her hands warm and soft against my skin. But it feels like a weight, not a comfort. Like I've just sealed my own fate. I nod, but I don't say anything else. I can't. Not when every part of me is screaming that something is horribly wrong. As Sarah flits off to pack her bags, I sit there, the tension hanging heavy in the air, choking the space between us. I feel powerless, small. And the worst part is, I know this is just the beginning. Something's broken, and I don't know how to fix it. But I also know one thing for sure. I'm not done yet. And tomorrow I'm going to make sure I've got a plan to take back some control. The next morning, I wake up with a pit in my stomach. Sarah's still asleep in bed, her breathing soft and steady. I'm not sure what to do with myself, so I grab my phone. I make the call before I can think about it too much. Hi, this is Nick Matthews. I need to cancel my wedding reservation. I say to the woman at the venue, trying to sound normal. It's personal. It's just not going to work out anymore. There's a long pause. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can I ask why? I'm already regretting this, but I don't stop. My fiancé's behavior around the wedding and the trip she's taking, it's just too much for me to ignore. She's quiet for a second, and then, surprisingly, she comes back with, I understand. You're within our policy, and I can process the refund for the deposit. We'll take care of it. I blink, not expecting it to be this easy. The $9,000. Just like that. Thank you. I mutter, my hands shaking as I hang up. I don't feel any relief, though. Only more questions. And I know what I have to do next. I dial Eric's number. He's a lawyer I've known since college, always quick with advice and even quicker to get me out of a mess. He answers on the second ring. What's up, man? His voice is casual, but I know something's bothering me. I need to find out if I'm overreacting, I say, or if Sarah's hiding something from me. Can you help? I can hear him sit up in his chair. What's going on? I take a deep breath, trying to sound calm, but I can feel the anger simmering underneath. She's going to Japan for her bachelorette party. With Mike, her ex. There's a long silence on the other end. And I think she's been seeing him behind my back. I add, my voice cracking. I need proof, Eric. I need to know if I'm right about this. Jesus, Nick, that's a big accusation. He pauses. All right, let me see what I can do. I'll find someone who can look into it. The call ends, and I feel a strange sense of finality settle over me. I don't know if I'm relieved or terrified. Either way, it's happening. A couple of hours later, Eric calls me back with a name. Dominic, former cop, now a private investigator. He gives me a brief rundown of the guy's work. He's solid, but it's going to cost you, man. Surveillance doesn't come cheap. I don't care about the cost anymore. Not really. Set it up, I say, my voice tight. Eric arranges for me to meet Dominic that afternoon at a coffee shop. I'm there early, staring out the window, waiting. My mind races through 1,000 thoughts. What if I'm wrong? What if it's all just a misunderstanding? But deep down, I know I'm not wrong. Dominic shows up just on time. He's tall, with a worn-in look that screams, I've seen it all. He's got a strong handshake and a way of looking at you like he's reading your soul. He orders a coffee, black, and slides into the booth across from me. So, you need me to track someone? He asks, not wasting any time. I nod, hands wrapped around my own coffee, the heat barely registering. My fiancé, Sarah. She's going to Japan with her ex, Mike. I think there's more going on than just a trip. I need you to find out what's really going on. Dominic listens quietly, occasionally scribbling something in his notebook. I don't need to say more. He's already got it. When I finish, he leans back, folding his arms. I'll tail them, he says. Keep you updated every step of the way. For 2 weeks of surveillance, it'll be $8,000. I'll follow them wherever they go. Get you the proof you need. It's steep, but I don't hesitate. I hand over my card and say, do it. The next few days drag on. Sarah's busy planning her trip, packing with excitement that makes my skin crawl. She tells me about her flight, the hotels she's booked, the restaurants she can't wait to try. She's so happy. But there's a hollow feeling inside me, a part of me that wants to shake her and scream, but I can't. I play it cool, act like everything's fine. I'm glad you're excited, I say, forcing a smile, even though I want to punch a hole in the wall. Have a great time. Just don't forget to send me some pictures. She smiles brightly. Of course, I'll send you updates. I'm glad you're being so understanding, Nick. The words taste like ash in my mouth, but I nod. Yeah, of course. I can't shake the feeling that everything is unraveling, but I keep it together. For now. And while she's off picking out outfits for her week in Japan with Mike, I've got my own plan in motion. I'm not waiting for her to show me the truth. I'm going to make sure I see it for myself. It's 5 days into Sarah's trip, and I'm trying to keep my mind occupied. I work, I watch TV, I try to forget about the sinking feeling in my stomach. But every time I check my phone, I find myself half expecting something. Something that will prove I'm not crazy, that I'm not just being paranoid. Then the message comes in. It's from Dominic. I tap the email open, my eyes scanning the words, and my blood runs cold as I scroll through the attached photos. There's Sarah, standing next to Mike, her hand resting lightly on his arm. They're smiling, too close, like they've been together for years. I scroll further. A photo of them at a restaurant, seated across from each other, laughing. The next picture, taken in front of a hotel, shows them walking down the street, again side by side, hand in hand. And there it is, the punch to the gut. They've checked into the hotel together. Separate rooms, yes, but both rooms are reserved under Mike's name. I feel my heart drop. A rush of heat floods my face. It's not just the pictures that hit me, though. It's the fact that there's no sign of the other girls. No sign of anyone else. Just Sarah and Mike, over and over again, looking more like a couple than two people who were supposed to be just friends. I sit there staring at the screen, my fingers trembling slightly as I swipe through the images. It's not a mistake. It's not a misunderstanding. It's real. I close my eyes, trying to breathe through the dizziness creeping in. My first instinct is to pick up the phone and call her. Demand answers. But I don't. I can't. Not yet. I need more than her word to prove what I already know. I pick up my phone and dial Eric's number. Yo, Nick. What's up? His voice is casual, but I can tell he's already sensed something's off. I need advice, I say, trying to keep it together. I've got proof, man. Proof that Sarah's been lying to me. She's with Mike, just the two of them. No one else from the trip is with them. They're staying in the same hotel, eating together, walking hand in hand. It's like they're a couple. She's been using money we set aside for our wedding to fund this thing. There's a long silence on the other end. Jesus, Nick, Eric says finally. You've got to be kidding me. That's rough. You need to act fast, man. I don't even know what to do. I admit, my voice shaky. I'm thinking about filing a lawsuit. She used our wedding funds for this trip, Eric. That's fraud. I need to get that money back. I don't know if I can just let it slide. Eric hesitates. I mean, you've got a strong case, but it's going to be messy. You'd need to send a demand letter first, at the very least. Try to resolve it without going to court. It might be the best option. At least you can get a formal acknowledgement from her that she took the money. I'm silent for a moment, feeling the weight of the decision settling on me. I don't even know if that would help. It's not just the money, Eric. It's everything. The trust. The lies. I don't know if I can ever look at her the same way. Eric's voice softens. You've got to do what's best for you, man. But right now, focus on getting your money back. If she doesn't respond, you'll have to make your next move. But don't let her keep playing you like this. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Eric. I hang up, my hands cold and stiff. The anger is building now, hot and overwhelming. I stare at the photos again. I'm not stupid. I know what's happening. But it's like the ground beneath me has shifted, and I don't know where to stand anymore. Later that night, Sarah texts me. Having an amazing time. Mike and I went out last night, just the two of us. So much fun. Can't wait to tell you all about it when I get back. The text hits me like a slap. She leaves out every other detail, the part about the other girls not being there, about them not being together. The fact that it's just her and Mike, alone, makes it obvious enough. But she still tries to make it sound like everything's fine. Like she hasn't just confirmed every one of my worst fears. I stare at the message, the words blurring as my hands shake. I want to respond, but I don't. I don't even know what to say anymore. What's the point? She's already shown me who she is. She's shown me what she's willing to do. I lock my phone and set it down on the table, my chest tight with anger and disappointment. I don't know what to do next, but I know I can't let her get away with this. Not after everything. It's time to take control. And this time, I'm not backing down. A few days later, as I'm sitting on the couch staring at the muted TV, my phone buzzes on the coffee table. It's Sarah. She's calling. I hesitate for a second, the weight of everything pressing down on me. I want to ignore it. I want to let her stew in whatever guilt she's feeling. But I don't. I swipe the screen and answer the call. Her face pops up on the screen, and it's clear she's had a few drinks. She's smiling a little too wide, her eyes a little too bright. Hey, she says, her voice slurring just enough to be noticeable. I'm having the best time, Nick. You should have seen us last night. Mike and I went to this crazy bar, and the drinks were so strong. I had so much fun. I don't even know how to respond to that. Part of me wants to just keep quiet, let her spin the story, but I can't. Not anymore. Not after everything I know. I force myself to stay calm. You and Mike, huh? I ask, keeping my voice level. Still no sign of the other girls, huh? Just you two. Her smile falters for just a second, but then she recovers, laughing it off like I'm making a joke. Oh, come on. It's not like that. You're being dramatic. Mike and I are just hanging out. It's no big deal. Don't make it into something it's not. Clench my jaw. Yeah? Then why don't you ever mention anything about the rest of the group? You've told me a dozen times about your plans with Mike, but you've never once said anything about the other girls. Why is that? She shakes her head, a quick flicker of irritation crossing her face. Because, Nick, they're not the ones I'm hanging out with. We're just having fun, you need to chill. You're worrying over nothing. I take a deep breath, trying to hold onto the last bit of composure I have left. I'm not worrying. I'm asking you, Sarah. Why are you avoiding the truth? Why don't you tell me what's really going on? Her expression hardens. Nick, I told you, nothing is going on. You're the one making a big deal out of it. She sits up a little straighter, her hands twisting nervously in her lap. You're just being paranoid, that's all. Why can't you just trust me? I can feel the anger bubbling up in my chest. Everything about this feels wrong, and I can't keep pretending like it isn't. I push the words out before I can stop myself. Trust you. My voice cracks a little and I hate it. How am I supposed to trust you, Sarah? When you've been lying to me this whole time. You're with Mike, you've been with him this whole trip, and you're still trying to act like it's all just innocent fun. How long has this been going on? Huh? How long have you been seeing him behind my back? She freezes, her face going pale for a split second before the anger floods back into her eyes. I'm not seeing him. You're making this into something it's not. Why are you always doing this to me? I feel the sting of humiliation as she accuses me again. You're being controlling, Nick. You're always trying to keep tabs on me, like I'm some kind of prisoner. You can't just let me have fun, can you? The words hit harder than I expected. The accusation that I'm controlling, that's the one thing I wasn't ready for. The one thing I can't ignore. I don't even want to respond to her. I'm done. I don't have anything left to say. You're lying? I say, my voice barely above a whisper. And I don't know if I can ever forgive you for this. She glares at me, eyes full of fire. Then don't. But don't come crawling back when you realize how stupid you were. I can feel my chest tighten as the weight of it all settles in. The betrayal, the lies, the way she's managed to twist everything into being my fault. I feel sick. I feel like I've just been gutted. And all I want to do is end this call and forget about everything she just said. But I can't. I know I have to do something. Before I can stop myself, I hang up. The silence is deafening, and for a moment, I just sit there, staring at the blank screen of my phone. My hands are shaking, and my chest feels tight. She's gone. The wedding is gone. This whole thing is slipping through my fingers. And then I stand up. I grab my laptop, my mind already moving faster than I can think. I open up all the wedding emails, the venue, the caterers, the photographers, and one by one, I start canceling everything. Every single vendor, every reservation, every detail. It's all gone. I'm already losing so much. The wedding, the money, but it's worth it. I won't let her get away with this. Not without facing the consequences. I go through the motions, each click of the mouse feeling like a small victory, but inside, I'm empty. The only thing that keeps me from falling apart is the certainty that I'm taking control. I'm not going to let her walk away unscathed. She's made her choice. Now I'm making mine. And I won't look back. The next few hours are a blur of emails, phone calls, and cancellations. I don't hesitate. I can't. The wedding I had been planning for months, the $32,000 I'd sunk into it, gone. I start with the reception. I call the venue first, explain the situation, and immediately cancel everything. The woman on the other end of the line is polite, but I can hear the surprise in her voice. We'll process your refund for the deposit, but there may be some cancellation fees, she says, her tone shifting to the business side of things. Just do what you can, I say, swallowing the lump in my throat. I don't care about the fees. I don't care about anything but ending this nightmare. Next, the florist, the photographer, the cake vendor. One by one, I call them, each conversation more difficult than the last, but I get through it. Most of them understand. Some seem more than a little baffled by my sudden cancellation, but I don't owe anyone an explanation. Not anymore. By the end of the day, I've recovered as much of the $32,000 as I can, though I know it's never going to be a full refund. Some of it's just lost, and I hate myself for that. But I'm also relieved. It's done. The wedding is over. As I sit at the kitchen table, staring at the pile of cancellation emails, my phone rings. I glance down at the screen and see my mom's name flashing. My stomach tightens. She's going to ask about Sarah, and I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about it. I swipe to answer. Nick? What the hell is going on? Her voice crackles through the phone, concern obvious in every syllable. I had to cancel everything, I say flatly. My chest feels like it's being crushed under the weight of the words. The wedding's off. She's been lying to me, Mom. I can't marry her after everything that's happened. There's a long silence. Then I hear her take a breath, the kind she always does when she's trying to stay calm. I knew something was off with her. You've been making excuses for her for months, but I always had a bad feeling. I didn't think she'd do something like this. I close my eyes, the guilt seeping into my bones like cold water. I don't even know what to feel anymore. You're better off without her, she says, her voice steady. You've always given her everything, Nick, and she doesn't deserve you. I'm sorry you had to go through this, but you're not the one who's lost here. She is. I almost laugh, but it comes out more like a sob. I don't even know who I am without her, Mom. Well, you'll figure it out, she says, a little softer now. But you'll be okay. You're stronger than you think. I don't know if I believe her, but I let her words hang in the air anyway. Thanks, Mom. I'll talk to you soon. I hang up, the phone in my hand heavy as if it still holds the weight of everything I just lost. A few minutes later, my phone buzzes again, and it's Dominic. He's been sending me updates every day, each one more damning than the last. I open the message with a sinking feeling in my chest, already knowing what I'll see. The pictures are almost identical to the ones before. Sarah and Mike, laughing over dinner, holding hands, walking together in the streets of Tokyo. But today, there's something different. There's an intimacy in the way they're standing together. It's not just two people spending time with each other. It's a couple, pure and simple. There's no sign of the other girls. No one else. I scroll through the updates, each more damning than the last. Mike and Sarah spent the entire day together today. No sign of anyone else from the group. They're clearly spending more time with each other than anyone else. It's confirmation. Every photo, every word. I don't need any more proof. It's all right there in front of me. I can't keep doing this. I open the legal files I've started putting together. It's time. I start filling out the papers for the lawsuit fraud. She used our wedding funds for this trip, for a lie, for him. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care if it costs me more time, more money. I'm doing it. I can't let her get away with this. As the night drags on, I feel like a different person. This isn't just about her anymore. It's about me. It's about taking back what's mine. And when I'm finished with the paperwork, I sit back, exhausted. Part of me wants to collapse, to just curl up and disappear from all of this. But another part of me is calm, clearer than I've felt in weeks. I'm taking control. No more waiting. No more second guessing. It's over. I'm sitting in the waiting area at the airport with Eric, trying to look calm. But inside, my heart is pounding. I keep replaying the conversation I had with Sarah in my head, her voice echoing in the back of my mind. You're overreacting. You're paranoid. You're controlling. She thinks she's getting away with it. She thinks I'm just going to let it slide, like I've let everything else slide. But I'm done. Eric's beside me, checking his phone. You good? He asks, glancing up at me. I nod, but I'm not sure what's going to happen next. What if she fights me on this? What if she tries to talk her way out of it? She'll try to talk her way out of it, Eric says, reading my mind. Just don't let her. You've got this. You've got the proof. I look down at the manila envelope in my hands. It feels heavier than it should. Inside, there's the lawsuit, the photos, the receipts, everything I need to prove that she stole from me. And when Sarah steps off that plane, I'm not going to let her lie her way out of it. I'm not going to let her walk away scot-free. Her flight is on time, and I watch the passengers file out of the terminal, hoping I won't miss her. Then I spot her. She's walking through the gate, her eyes scanning the crowd, and when they land on me, her face freezes. She doesn't know what's coming. She stops dead in her tracks. I stand up, and Eric stays back, leaning casually against the wall, like he's just here for a friendly chat. Nick. Sarah's voice is tight, like she's trying to hide her surprise behind the fake cheer she always used when she thought everything was fine. But I see the panic in her eyes. I'm sure she's wondering why I'm here, why I'm waiting for her instead of being all smiles like I was supposed to be. I take a step toward her and hold out the envelope. She stares at it like it's a bomb. Sarah, I say, my voice steady, even though everything inside me feels like it's shaking. You're being served. She blinks. What? What is this? Her voice cracks, like she's trying to sound confused but knows exactly what's happening. Her eyes dart between me and the envelope. What's going on? I take a deep breath, keeping my voice low. You took the money intended for our wedding to fund your trip with Mike. You've been lying to me this whole time, and I've got the proof. I don't give her a chance to respond. I pull out my phone and swipe through the photos. Sarah and Mike laughing together, holding hands, standing too close to each other for comfort. I shove the phone in her face, the pictures glaring up at her. Her face goes pale, her mouth opening and closing like she can't find the words. She tries to look away, but I'm not done. You've been with him this whole time, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. I trusted you, Sarah, and you lied to my face. She takes a shaky breath, then shakes her head. This isn't what it looks like, she says, her voice rising. Mike and I are just friends. You're blowing this all out of proportion. She grabs at the envelope, but I don't let go. Friends. I repeat, the word bitter on my tongue. You've been spending every day with him, and you expect me to believe it's just friends? You took our money and used it for this trip. That's what's really happening. She steps back, trying to gather herself, but I can see it. She knows she's cornered. She knows she's not getting out of this. But she's still trying to play it cool, still trying to turn it around on me. You're just being paranoid, Nick. I didn't do anything wrong. You're the one who's making all this up. I'm not a bad person. You're just... Stop. I cut her off, the anger in my chest rising. Just stop with the excuses, Sarah. This is it. This is the truth, and you can't run from it anymore. She opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but no words come out. And then, out of nowhere, she screams. You're an asshole. I can't believe you're doing this to me. She grabs the envelope from my hand, her face red with fury, but I don't flinch. I just stand there, staring at her. Mike is standing behind her now, looking unsure of whether he should intervene or not. But before he can say anything, I turn to him, my voice cold. Stay out of this, Mike. You've got no place here. He takes a step back, eyes wide, but he doesn't argue. Sarah's breathing heavily, her fists clenched at her sides. You're ruining everything, she says, her voice full of venom. I was trying to have some fun before the wedding, and now you're doing this? I'm done with you, Nick. I'm done with you too. I say, my voice finally steady, like I've said it 1,000 times before. But you're going to answer for what you did. I'll make sure of it. She looks like she's going to say something else. But I turn away. I'm done listening. I walk out of the airport, the sound of her screaming fading behind me. I can feel the weight lifting off my shoulders with every step. This is over, and I'm done with her. The days after the airport showdown pass in a blur, each one dragging a little longer than the last. Sarah starts reaching out immediately. At first, it's a text, then a voicemail, then another text. They come in fast and furious, each one more frantic than the last. You've got to listen to me, please. I know I messed up, but you can't just throw everything away. We've been through so much. You can't do this to me. Then, another text. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please call me. I don't respond. I don't have to. She's already crossed every line I had. But still, she keeps trying. A few days later, I hear a knock on my door. I look through the peephole and there she is. Sarah, standing in the hallway, her hands on her hips, looking like she's ready for a fight. I don't open the door. I won't let her in. Nick, I know you're in there. Her voice rises, strained with the effort. You can't just ignore me like this. Open the door. Please, we need to talk. I take a step back, and my finger hovers over the record button on my phone. I start recording, keeping my voice steady. Sarah, I'm not opening the door. You need to leave. I'm not leaving until you listen to me. She screams through the door, pounding on it now. You're ruining my life. You've made me look like a monster. I can hear the desperation in her voice, but I stay calm, my eyes focused on the phone in my hand. You did that to yourself. You lied. You stole. And now you want to act like the victim? No, Sarah. It's over. She goes silent for a moment, and then I hear her hit the door again, harder this time. I never meant for it to get this far. I was just having fun. You're acting like I did something unforgivable. You're being insane. Leave, Sarah. I don't raise my voice, but I'm done with the games. You're not welcome here anymore. And if you keep this up, I'll take further action. She mutters something I don't catch, but I know it's not good. Her footsteps fade as she walks away, but I don't feel relief. I just feel empty. The next morning, I get a call from one of our mutual friends, Kara. She's been quiet for a few days, but now, she's asking what happened. I'm expecting Sarah's side of the story, and that's exactly what I get. Nick, you're blowing this way out of proportion, Kara says, sounding upset. Sarah's been trying to reach you. She's been crying about how you've turned everything around on her. She says you're just overreacting. You've got to give her a chance to explain. I don't need to hear her excuses. I say, my voice tight. She used money that was supposed to be for our wedding to go on a trip with Mike. She lied to my face for months, Kara. And now she's trying to paint herself as the victim. There's silence on the other end, and I can tell she's processing it. Then she sighs. I didn't know about the money part. That's messed up. But still, she's really upset. You need to think about this before you make it permanent. I don't say anything. I don't need to. I'm done, Kara. This is over. When I hang up, I feel the weight of the decision settling in my chest. But I also feel something else. Relief. A few hours later, I get a call from my mom. She's got that worried tone in her voice, the one she uses when she's trying to be careful but can't hide the concern. Nick, Sarah's mother, called me today. She's saying you're being abusive, that you're treating Sarah terribly. She's asking me to talk to you, get you to calm down. I let out a long breath. Of course, Sarah's family, always ready to sweep her actions under the rug. Mom, I'm not abusive. I'm just protecting myself. She's the one who lied and stole from me. She's the one who's done this. I know, honey, she says softly. I don't need to hear her side. I know what happened, but don't let her family twist this around. I've got your back, and I'll make sure they know exactly who's at fault here. Thanks, Mom. My chest tightens, but I feel a little lighter. Her support means everything right now. The day after that, I get a letter from Sarah. It's thick, an official-looking envelope that makes my stomach twist. I open it, and there it is, a letter, written in her familiar handwriting. She starts with an apology, but it's a weak one. She admits she messed up, but she's quick to blame everything on stress, on not knowing how to deal with the wedding pressures. She claims she was just trying to have fun before everything changed. And then it comes the part that hits hardest. She admits her mistakes, but it's clear what she's really trying to do. I'll pay you back for the money I took, she writes. I just want to fix things. Please, let's talk. It's a pathetic attempt to avoid the legal consequences. But it doesn't change anything. The letter's nothing more than her trying to save herself. I'm done. I don't need her apology. I don't need her excuses. The damage is done. And I'm not going back. The settlement meeting was scheduled for late morning, and when I walked into that conference room, I wasn't sure how I felt. Part of me wanted to feel vindicated, like I'd finally gotten the justice I deserved, but the rest of me was just tired. So tired of everything that had led up to this. Sarah was already sitting there, her shoulders stiff and her eyes darting around the room like she was waiting for an escape. Her lawyer was beside her, looking like he couldn't wait to get this over with. I sat down across from her, my lawyer, Eric, beside me. The tension in the room was thick, but I refused to let it get to me. This was my moment. The mediator started with the formalities, but my focus was on Sarah. Her eyes kept flicking to me, and I could tell she was uncomfortable. She probably thought she'd show up here, apologize, and make everything go away. But that wasn't happening. "Nick," she finally said, breaking the silence, her voice soft. "I just want to say, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I didn't mean for any of this to get so out of hand. I thought I was just escaping, having some fun before everything got too serious. But I was wrong. I'm sorry." Her words are almost too rehearsed, too easy, like she's read them off a script. I don't feel any sympathy for her. "You were wrong, Sarah," I say, my voice calm, steady. "But it's not just about what you did to me. It's about what you've done to yourself, to everyone around you." She shifts uncomfortably in her seat, then glances at her lawyer, like she's waiting for him to step in. But he doesn't. "Look, I know it's too late to fix everything, but I'm willing to make things right," she says, still trying to manipulate the situation. "I'll pay you back. I'll pay back the $4,000 in installments if that's what it takes. I just want to move on." I let her finish, then I lean forward, meeting her eyes. "This isn't about the money, Sarah. You've already taken too much from me. I've already been through hell because of you, and no amount of money can change that." She opens her mouth to respond, but I cut her off. "I don't want anything from you anymore. I don't want your apologies. I don't want your excuses. I'm done." For a moment, there's silence. Her face falls, and I can see the hurt in her eyes. But there's something else in there, too, something like desperation. She's still trying to twist it around, trying to make me feel guilty for her. But I won't let her. "You can keep the money," I continue, my voice hardening. "I've already got what I needed, control. And that's the last thing you'll ever take from me." Sarah's jaw clenches, but she doesn't say anything. The meeting wraps up shortly after that, and as I stand to leave, I feel a quiet sense of satisfaction. It's done. I've taken my life back. Over the next few weeks, Sarah slowly fades from my life. She tries reaching out, but I don't answer. I don't need her in my world anymore. The more I distance myself from her, the more I realize just how much weight she had been dragging me down with. Eventually, I start seeing someone new. Her name's Mia. She's kind, honest, and she respects my boundaries. Something I didn't even realize I needed until now. It's different in a good way. I feel lighter when I'm with her, like I can finally breathe again. I don't know what will happen with her, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm actually living. Sarah, meanwhile, keeps digging herself into a hole. Her friends start distancing themselves from her. Word of what happened between us gets out, and her reputation takes a hit. Her family's disappointed, but it's clear they've been avoiding her calls. 2. I get the final payment for the lawsuit one morning, the last piece of the puzzle falling into place. There's no bitterness, no desire for revenge anymore. Just a calm, quiet feeling that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I close the envelope, take a deep breath, and for the first time in a long time, I feel a real sense of closure.